Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about what is going on with Microsoft recently, because I think some people have forgotten. So I'll just remind those, especially I see some people on YouTube, some gamers kind of agreeing with Microsoft's increase, and maybe they're sponsored, I don't know, especially on the Xbox Game Pass. So just let me kind of fill everybody in on what Microsoft has done over a very short period. And if you're okay with all of this or not. Remember, if you enjoy content like this, I release a video usually 5 times a week. You can motivate me more by doing what's free up here. Like, share, subscribe, of course, hit the notification bell and comment. So this is the article that I'm kind of basing this video around. Make sure you go over here and check it out. I will link to it in the YouTube description down below. So I'll just read the title of this. As Microsoft lays off thousands, and I'll be going through that in just a moment, and jacks up Game Pass prices, this former FTC chair says, "I told you so." The Activision Blizzard buyout is harming not only gamers, but also developers. So remember a few years back when Microsoft, the idea was to consolidate power and really maximize revenue by purchasing Activision Blizzard, a huge deal. Well, that got a lot of criticism back then, and certainly it's getting a lot more criticism today, especially with the Xbox Game Pass being jacked up by 50%. Layoffs are one of the downsides, unless you're the government, when it comes to amalgamating companies and you put them all into one pot. There's been a lot of layoffs. How many? Well, the merger that closed in October 2023, Microsoft indicated right off the top, deep job cuts. To no one's surprise, really. These included an initial 1,900 workers from Activision Blizzard and Xbox. That's not it. I'm not finished. There's more. This was followed by another wave of 650 people. They were let go in October 2024. And then another massive reduction of 9,000 employees across Microsoft occurred just a few months ago in July 2025. And of course, companies are going to try and recoup their losses. So with this acquisition, they're laying people off to do that. And they're also increasing the Xbox Game Pass by 50%. The ultimate plan is 50% more expensive. In Canada, that's around $40 a month for that. And I think in some other countries, it's as high as $70 or $80 per month. So at the end of the day, companies are going to try all kinds of tactics to satisfy shareholders and make as much profit, trillions, unlimited amounts of money. That's just the way it works, right? That's just the way it works. However, if collectively people don't buy a product or a service, then that price will come down, generally speaking. Since COVID, I don't know if anything makes sense anymore. The world has flipped, literally, like it's cuckoo. But that's typically how it works, because if, for example, 90% of everyone canceled their Xbox Game Pass, at least the ultimate one, Microsoft will go, whoa, what's happening? But that's not what happens. People want it, people afford it somehow, and they'll keep raising the price, guys. They're going to keep raising the price. I don't know where that wall is. Maybe it's $100 a month for an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know. I see people online talking about it. Yeah, it's a fair price. Okay, if you're well off, and maybe if your parents are paying for it or somebody else is paying it for you, that's a different story entirely, right? It's not fair to people who just want to play games. Now, I would suggest, and I gave up my Xbox. I had an Xbox console long time ago, gave that up. And then I had a PC Game Pass, but you need a PC for that. And that's probably a better option here. Get a PC, forget about the Xbox. But wait for it, because I bet you the PC Game Pass will also go up in price very, very soon. Just wait for it. Now, let us know what you think about this whole situation. One person here at the end of this article said this: games today are like casino slot machines. They're not fun, but give this simulation about winning and competition. What we have are zombies playing the same iteration of games with minimal changes and high prices. Is this person right, or is this person wrong? I think that person is pretty spot on with this comment, because most of the, especially AAA titles these days, are the same thing over and over. Not all of them, not all the studios, not all the developers are like that, but a lot of the AAA games are, as a matter of fact, usually, especially on release day, are really disappointing. And you have to wait 6 months for the game to be patched and to be playable. Some people don't feel this way, but it's kind of like how I feel. And I've been gaming ever since dinosaurs roamed the planet, back in the day when Pong was a thing. And of course, you don't need a subscription like the Microsoft Xbox Game Pass or the Microsoft PC Game Pass. You can just go out and buy games on whatever launcher you'd like. Most of my games are on Steam. That way you own it. That way you can play it, enjoy it. Usually you can pick them up for a decent price. And if you want to, in a couple of years, play it again, you can go back and play it again.